In the United States, the law places strict limits on how long police can hold a suspect without bringing them before a judge. And these protections come directly from the Constitution, ensuring that no individual is detained longer than absolutely necessary without judicial oversight. When a person is arrested, the police must have either an arrest warrant issued by a judge or a legally valid reason to arrest the suspect without a warrant, known as probable cause. Probable cause means there must be reasonable and specific facts suggesting the person committed a crime. Once the arrest happens, the clock starts immediately. Because American law is built on the principle that every person has the right to be protected from unlawful or prolonged detention. The Constitution's Fourth Amendment requires a prompt judicial determination of whether the arrest was valid. Because of this, U.S. law generally requires that an arrested person be brought before a judge within 48 hours. This is the nationwide constitutional standard, meaning police anywhere in the country, whether local, state, or federal, must follow it. The judge does not decide guilt at this stage. Instead, the judge checks if there was enough probable cause for the arrest. If the judge finds the arrest was not supported by lawful reasons, the suspect must be released immediately. If the judge finds the arrest was valid, then the suspect may continue to be held while the case proceeds. The purpose of this first appearance is to confirm the legality of the detention, inform the suspect of their rights, appoint a lawyer if they cannot afford one, and set bail or other release conditions. Many states go even further than the federal requirement and demand the suspect be taken before a judge even sooner, such as within 24 hours or within the next available court session. These states believe that faster judicial review strengthens constitutional protections and reduces the risk of wrongful detention. Even though the general federal rule is 48 hours, police cannot use the full time unless absolutely necessary. Delays caused by administrative tasks, lack of available officers, slow paperwork, or extended questioning are not considered valid reasons to keep someone longer. The law is extremely clear that a delay must be justified by truly exceptional circumstances, such as natural disasters, emergencies affecting court operations, or major public safety crises. Anything beyond that is considered unconstitutional. If a suspect is detained longer than allowed without seeing a judge, defense lawyers can challenge the detention, and many courts may order the suspect released from custody because the police violated their rights. This rule is designed to prevent police from using detention as a tool to force confessions or to pressure suspects by holding them in isolation. Law rejects these practices completely, guaranteeing that no one can be held simply for investigative convenience. Along with this 48-hour requirement, many states also place limits on how long prosecutors can take to file formal criminal charges after an arrest. In most parts of the country, prosecutors have 48 to 72 hours after custody begins to either file charges or allow the suspect to be released. Some states require charges even faster, especially for minor crimes. If charges are not filed within the state's time limit, the suspect cannot be held anymore and must be released. Although prosecutors may still file charges later if new evidence emerges. These deadlines exist because the American legal system believes that no person should sit in jail without the government taking formal legal action against them. The Constitution also plays a major role in determining how police and courts interact with suspects during detention. Every person who is arrested has the right to remain silent, the right to refuse questioning, and the right to have an attorney present during any interrogation. If a suspect requests an attorney, questioning must stop immediately until the lawyer is physically present. This prevents police from taking advantage of the early hours of detention to obtain statements without legal protection. If police ignore this rule, any statements or confessions made during that time may be thrown out in court. During the first court appearance, also known as an arraignment or initial hearing, the judge informs the suspect of the charges. If charges have already been filed, reviews whether the arrest was lawful, ensures the suspect understands their rights, and decides on bail or release conditions. Bail decisions are extremely important because they determine whether the suspect remains in custody or is allowed to go home while the case moves forward. Judges consider several factors, such as the seriousness of the alleged crime, the suspect's criminal history, possible danger to the community, and the likelihood that the suspect will return to court. In some cases involving minor offenses, suspects may be released on their own recognizance, meaning they promise to return to court without paying money. For more serious crimes, bail may be set at a higher amount, or the judge may deny bail entirely if there is significant risk to public safety. After this initial phase, the timeline moves into the prosecutor's hands. Prosecutors must decide quickly whether to continue with charges, gather more evidence, or drop the case. If prosecutors need more time but the suspect has not yet been formally charged, the suspect cannot be held indefinitely. They must either be charged within the lawful time limit or released. Once charges are filed, the suspect's rights continue through the entire court process, including the right to an attorney, the right to discovery of evidence, the right to a speedy trial, and the right to challenge evidence brought against them. The American system is built on the idea that it is better to release a suspect temporarily than to allow the government to hold someone unlawfully. These strict limits on detention are some of the strongest in the world, reflecting the country's commitment to individual liberty. When understood clearly, the rule is simple. Police can hold a suspect only long enough to complete the arrest process and bring them before a judge, generally no more than about 48 hours. Prosecutors must quickly decide whether to file charges, usually within 48 to 72 hours, depending on state law. Anything longer violates constitutional protections. These safeguards ensure fairness, prevent abuse, and reinforce the fundamental American belief that every person is innocent until proven guilty, and that freedom cannot be taken away without immediate oversight from the courts.